waaye ginnaaw ñaan boobu
After the secret supplication of the soul, through the invocation of the divine name Ya Fattâh, the soul engages in a new plea by turning to another sublime name of Allah, Ya Razzâq. In this fervent call, the soul implores its Lord using the sacred number of the earthly world, which is 21 times. It then elevates its invocation by repeating the divine name Ya Razzâq 21 times, directing this prayer for the benefit of the human body that hosts it. The soul expresses itself before its Lord as follows: O you, Ya Razzâq, the one who provides and grants without limit, by the light of your name and the vastness of your blessings, I beseech you to grant wealth and abundance to the human body that hosts me, so that it may have the necessary resources for its sustenance. Allow it to draw from this abundance the energy and vitality essential to remain active in your worship and to accompany me, the soul, in my quest for your mercy and pleasure. The most remarkable aspect of this secret prayer lies in the fact that the human being, although the beneficiary of this heavenly intercession, may remain unaware of it. Observe this fleeting moment, this precious instant between the Fajr prayer and the preparations for Salatul Subh. In this brief interval, the soul residing within you connects with its Lord and requests an invaluable favor for your own body. This soul, in its secret intercession, invokes the divine name Al-Fattâh, reciting it 19 times to seek spiritual openness and divine light for the human being. For when a person benefits from this divine illumination, the soul finds a favorable environment in which it radiates only positive energies. But the soul's supplication does not end there. It continues by addressing the sublime name of Allah, Ya Razzâq, 21 times, again pleading on behalf of the human being. Through this call, the soul asks Allah to grant beneficial abundance, a flow of sustenance to nourish the body so that it remains energetic and active. In this way, the body can fully accompany the soul in the worship of God. At this precise moment, the possessor of inner vision attests that this reality applies to every soul residing within a human body. Thus, every soul, regardless of the spiritual condition of its host, has the ability to implore these sublime prayers by invoking these two divine names between Salatul Fajr and Salatul Subh. Since the spiritual law governs all souls, it is essential to understand that, regardless of an individual's religious affiliation, whether Muslim or not, their soul at this precise moment naturally turns to its Lord and implores Him. However, for this intercession to be fulfilled through these two divine names, a crucial condition must be met. The soul must first connect to the light of the Lord. This connection is only possible if the human being is in a state of conscious awakening during this sacred time. In other words, it is imperative that they are awake, fully emerged from the veils of sleep. For it is through this spiritual vigilance that their soul can establish its link with the divine presence. Thus, between Salatul Fajr and Salatul Subh, the soul rises in invocation, using these two sublime names to beseech Allah on behalf of its earthly host. If, during these precious moments, the human being is immersed in sleep, then, unless they belong to the spiritual dimension of the great Salihin, their soul will be unable to establish any connection with the divine light. On this subject, let us proceed with an in-depth study. This is precisely why the sages have always taught that those who succumb to sleep during the Fajr period cannot escape one of two inevitable consequences. Either their sustenance will be restricted, limiting their alpha resources, or if they enjoy abundance, it will be devoid of any blessings, baraka. Now, while the deprivation of abundance is easily understandable, many struggle to grasp what it means to have abundance devoid of grace. To better comprehend this, one must recognize that it is possible to be wealthy, to possess vast resources. But if this wealth lacks baraka, divine blessing, it remains unstable and perishable. Indeed, any endeavor initiated with such fortune is destined to fail. Sooner or later, projects collapse, investments dissipate, and any undertaking founded on this opulence ultimately falls into ruin. This is the reality of abundance devoid of grace. What an individual acquires thrives only for a fleeting moment, and their descendants will never inherit it in a lasting way. This is why, in light of this mystical science, the wise, after contemplating it through their inner vision, have formally articulated it as a universal teaching. The wise, in their profound wisdom, have also revealed another subtle principle governing the relationship between sleep and spiritual blessings. They teach that an individual endowed with pure knowledge, even while asleep, can benefit from a framework of divine favor superior to that of a person who is awake, without the latter being able to attain their spiritual level. Thus, it is established that the soul residing within the human organism naturally implores its Lord through the two divine names mentioned earlier. However, there is an exception: one who falls asleep during the sacred interval between Fajr and Subh, and whose soul is not connected to the divine light, is deprived of the secret invocation. Unable to establish a connection with the celestial realms, their soul neither engages in zikr nor offers these sublime supplications. On the other hand, those who are among the great Salihin, due to the purity of their being, have their souls connected even in sleep. At that precise moment, their soul continues to emit invocations, maintaining a link with higher realities, regardless of the physical state of the body. It is precisely within this dynamic that one grasps the importance of the spiritual dimension of those endowed with pure knowledge, known as the Salihin. From this, it becomes evident why the wise affirm that sleeping during the moments of Fajr poses a peril for the human being. However, it is important to emphasize that the time between Fajr and Subh is not the only interval during which the soul implores its Lord. Indeed, there are other sacred temporal intervals as well.